Favorite hobby mo ba ang pagbabasa ng libro? Like, you enjoy reading and letting the books take you to another world? Then this video is definitely for you. Hello everyone! My name is Mimi and welcome to my home-based story kung saan lagi tayo nag-share ng mga bagong videos regarding work from home. Kaya naman kung bago kayo sa ating channel, please consider subscribing. So a couple of weeks back, I asked you guys kung ano yung favorite nyo na hobby. And some of you actually said na mahilig kayong magbasa ng libro because it takes you to another world, it gives you another story or another insight, 'di ba? Ito naman is talagang nakarelate ako because personally I also love reading books and hindi na lang siguro talaga ako masyado nakakapagbasa ng libro recently because you know, life happens, nagkaroon ka ng pamilya, 'di ba? You do household, you take care of the kids, you work. So, medyo nabawasan na yung time ko ng pagbabasa ng libro. But I was pleasantly surprised to learn na meron palang way kung paano natin pwedeng pagkakitaan ng pagbabasa ng libro. Granted, hindi siya talaga yung, alam mo yun, yung sikat or maraming openings. Pero maraming website kung saan pwede kayong mag-apply as a book reader or as a book reviewer. So, those are the two jobs that I'll be sharing with you today, book reader and book reviewer. So, sana panoorin nyo hanggang sa dulo because I'll be sharing more than 20 websites. I think this is the ultimate book reader guide kung saan pwede mong i-monetize yung pagbo-book read. And apart from that, I will also share yung pwede nyong kitain, like the salary and yung mga tips na pwede nyong gamitin para mas maging malaki yung chance nyo na mag-earn from book reading. And at the end of our video, i-share ko din sa inyo kung ano ba yung iba pang pwede nyong gawin para makapag-earn kayo sa inyong hobby na book reading. Okay, so guys, ang two jobs na i-share ko sa inyo, number one is being a book reviewer and the next one is being a book reader. Okay, so book reviewer, basically, ang gagawin ninyo guys is magbabasa kayo ng libro and i-offer nyo yung honest opinion nyo or isa-summarize nyo siya or bibigyan nyo siya ng review like based doon sa nabasa ninyo. So, that's the book reviewer. And yung book reader naman, as the name suggests, yun, magbabasa kayo out loud ng libro and you will be paid for that. Okay, so anong requirements dito? Madali lang guys, ang requirements dito is your internet, your computer or phone, pwedeng phone kasi hindi naman specific talaga na magko-computer ka, 'di ba? Or magta-type ka, magbabasa ka lang. And of course, the last one is good English comprehension skills. Kasi syempre, kailangan yung maintindihan yung babasahin ninyo or yung mga books para makapagbigay kayo ng valid and magandang review. So, let's go ahead and dive right in sa mga websites na pwede nyong pag-applyan kasi medyo mahaba tong list na to. I-share ko din sa inyo guys kung magkano yung pwede nyong kitain. Most of the websites are on a freelance basis. So, kapag nakita nyo na freelance basis, ibig sabihin guys, nakabase yan dun sa kind of book na babasahin ninyo, kind of rate na ino-offer ng company, and kung gaano ba siya kahaba or kaikse. So, ganun yung freelance basis. Wala siyang set na rate. Ayun. So, if you're ready, I'm also ready. Let's go. Sisimulan muna natin dun sa may mga rates. Number one is Readsy Discovery. Si Readsy Discovery, wala talaga siyang bayad, but you can be tipped. So, you're gonna be paid on a tip basis, which is usually around $1 to $3 or even $5. So, depende sa appreciation sa inyo ng author or ng mga makakabasa ng review nyo. So, guys, these are sites for book reviewers, okay? Then, number two is Online Book Club. Ayan yung website nila. Ang bayad nila is $5 to $60 yung range per review. Again, depende sa kind ng document ay re-review nyo and sa length. And then, number three is Writerful Books. They pay you from $10 to $50 per review. Next is Booklist Publications. They pay you $12.50 to $15 per review. The fifth one is Women's Review of Books. So, ang bayad dyan, guys, is $100 per review. And then, you also have InstaRead. That's their website. And, ang gagawin nyo dito instead of reviewing is isa-summarize nyo yung libro. So, hindi kayo mag-offer ng opinion. Ipapaikliin nyo lang or gagawa nyo sila ng plot. And you will be paid $100 for that. Okay, so ito na guys yung mga freelance basis na websites na sinasabi ko. Your pay will depend according to the book that you're gonna be reviewing. And yung final offer nila, nakadepende siya sa maraming factors like yung overall volume, yun nga yung haba ng libro, yung difficulty ng subject, and yun nga yung what is required of the review. So, number 1, Kirkus Media. So, siguro familiar na kayo kasi nabanggit ko to sa ating proofreading video. So, they also offer book reviewer jobs. Number 2 is US Review of Books. So, freelance basis din yan, and that's their website. Okay, so number 3 is Get Abstract. So, that's also their website, also on a freelance basis. Next, we have Bethany House, also freelance basis. Bookjobs.com. So, this is like a marketplace kung saan pwede kayo mag-search ng different kinds of book-related jobs. Ayun. Next is Publishers Weekly. So, Publishers Weekly is a US-based company. They also pay you on a freelance basis. So, note guys on the book jobs, karamihan dito would be jobs that are offered in US locations, pero may pailan-ilan, like maybe 2 or 3 na available global. Next is Publishers Weekly. So, this is a magazine in the US. Dahil COVID ngayon, guys, they're offering remote work. So, meaning you can work from anywhere. But once the COVID is over, they're planning to move this job dun pa rin sa kanilang New York office. Ayan. Next is Astronomy Magazine. Ayan yung website nila. Basically dito, hindi talaga sila nag-offer ng job, but you can pitch your idea. Let's say, passionate ka about astronomy and yung mga stars, ayan. So, pwede mong i-present sa kanila yung idea mo for an article, and if they like it, then you can get paid for it. Same din guys sa next natin na website, which is The Writer. So, si The Writer, you also need to pitch to the editor your content na gusto mong i-publish sa kanilang publication. And pwede ka nilang bayaran if they like it. Okay, so for the following sites naman na babanggitin ko guys, these are websites that don't necessarily pay you monetary compensation. So, hindi sila nagbabayad ng cash. But they can give you free advance reader's copy ng book. So, yung mga hindi pa na-release na book, bibigyan nila sa inyo for review. And then, sa inyo na yon kapag shinip nila, okay? So, you have their Moody Press, NetGalley, Book Browse, Library Thing, and Springer. Ayun. So, you can get free advanced reader's copy books with those websites. Ito namang next guys, sa babanggitin ko, si Tyndale Blog Network. Yan yung site nila. And si My Readers Rewards Club. Ayan. So, those two websites, kapag nag-review ka, you're gonna get points. May pointing system sila. And yung point system na yun, pag na-accumulate mo, pwede mo siyang i-exchange for free books or pwede ka mag-shop dun sa website nila. So, I'm not sure what items they have on their website. Pero yeah, you can use those points to get something for yourself. And then, the last two websites that I'm gonna be mentioning, kasi hindi siya nakacategorize sa mga una nating binanggit, is New Pages. So, si New Pages, they don't have payment at this time. Yun lang, kapag napili yung work mo, then you'll get the standard fame and glory or yung meron kang bragging rights, diba? And then, the last one is Tomoson. Si Tomoson, these are for social media influencers. Pwede kayong mamili ng product or ng book na i-review nyo. And then, you will get that product or book or even get paid for it. So, check nyo si tomoson.com. Ayan. Alright, so those are the different websites where you can be a book reviewer. Ayan, so medyo marami siya guys, no? But again, I want you to get more exposure sa different kinds of websites para mas marami yung chance na matanggap kayo, diba? I also mentioned that you can earn from reading books aloud, yung pagbabasa lang talaga ng libro. Para tong VO artist na din, na mag-voice over ka, right? I have 4 websites for you, which is ACX, Voice Bunny, The Voices, and si Brilliance Audio. So, all you have to do there is just read the books aloud, record yourself, and they're gonna pay you for the recording. So, depende siguro, meron syempreng audition yan just to set your expectation. And of course, pwedeng yung mabasa nyo is hindi yun yung genre na gusto nyo, no? Also, watch out for those. And next, as a special mention, I'll be giving you 4 different apps that you can install on your phone. Kasi itong mga apps na to, they also hire in-house reviewers kung saan they can pay you if you do a good review. Alright? So you have Goodreads, Scribd, Bookyap, and the last one is Wattpad. So, si Wattpad medyo familiar na siguro kayo kasi marami dito ang mga teenagers na dyan nagsusulat ng kanilang mga creative literary works. So, those first 3 that I mentioned, sila ay nagbabayad or nag-hire ng in-house reviewers. As for Wattpad, so ngayon, wala pa silang direct earning method. They don't pay you. But, if for example, you review different kinds of books, and if you publish your own work and nagustuhan siya ng mga audience, so that can get adapted to a movie or a TV series and you will definitely get paid for that, 'di ba? So kagaya nung movie ni Nadine, I think doon siya sumikat, yung Diary ng Pangit. So that I think that came from Wattpad. Or yung kay Catherine, yung She's Dating the Gangster. Ayun. So, I think that also came from Wattpad. So, if you feel na, especially do sa mga students natin ha, na lagi nagtatanong ano pong pwedeng naming work. So, if you're creative enough, then you can also create your own story and put it there. And ayun nga, pag nag-trend siya, then you can definitely get paid for it. Okay, so guys, those are the different websites na na-compile ko for book lovers like me. And if you want to earn something from our hobby, which is book reading, then you can check out those websites. Those are a total of 27 websites with 4 different phone applications. So, sana meron kayong makita dyan na bagay para sa inyo, 'di ba? Kung naghahanap pa rin kayo. Okay, so siguro you're asking, how else can I make money with books? Kasi hindi ako magaling mag-review and hindi rin ako magaling magbasa ng libro. So, these are other keywords or jobs that you can look for. So, merong affiliate programs like si Amazon. Yung mga books sa Amazon, pwede kayong mag-apply sa kanilang affiliate program and then share the links. And if somebody click on your link, then meron kayong commission. So, that's how an affiliate program works. Audiobooks. So, pwede kayong mag-record ng sarili nyo as an audiobook reader. What else? Book translation. So, kung marami kayong iba't ibang languages na alam, pwede nyong i-offer yung book translation services nyo. Pwede rin kayong gumawa ng sarili yung ebook. It doesn't really have to be an educational book eh. Pwedeng cookbook. Halimbawa, mahilig kayo magluto. And meron kayong sariling recipe na talagang benta sa mga friends and family nyo. Then, pwede kayong gumawa ng cookbook and then maybe sell it online or put it, halimbawa, nagvo-vlogging kayo about your cooking. Pwede nyong ibenta din yung cookbooks nyo dun sa vlog nyo, 'di ba? Another one is designing book layouts and covers. So, kung halimbawa naman yung creative side mo is hindi talaga sa writing and more on designing, more on drawing, ganyan, more on colors and everything. So, you could also design book layouts and covers. You can offer those services too in different kinds of marketplaces. And then, the last one is starting a book review vlog or website. So, kung halimbawa naman, you're really well-read, ang dami mo nang nabasa, and alam mo yun, marami kang feelings about certain books or novels or certain topics, then you can create your own vlog. And syempre, pag nag-start kayo mag-vlog, apart from selling those ideas, you can also add AdSense, yung mga Google Ads do sa vlog nyo. And alam niyo sa Facebook, di ba? Pag click kayo na link, it's gonna take you to another website and meron mga ads dyan. So, pinagkakakitaan din nila yung ads na yun. So, you can also set up a vlog like that. Ayan. So, guys, we're almost at the end of our video. I'm just gonna give you a couple of tips on how you can become a better book reviewer. So, number 1, make sure you adhere to the guidelines. Kasi different clients, different businesses, they all have their, own guidelines. So, make sure you follow that. Number 2, consider everything about the book. Like yung plot, yung climax, yung characters, yung setting, yung story flow, how did they all interact with each other. So, make sure na lahat na-cover mo, okay? Review only what you read. So, sometimes kasi pag book reviewer, minsan, we have this feeling na this story could have been better if, alam mo yun, parang may iniisip ka na sana nangyari pero hindi nangyari doon sa binasa mo. Or may iba kang kwento na sana gusto nangyari. So, when you do book reviews, it's okay to offer your opinions kasi syempre, review talaga siya. but you have to base it on facts, okay? Yun lang, i-justify mo yung opinion mo based dun sa nabasa mo, hindi dun sa wish mo na sana nabasa mo. Gets ba? Ayun, medyo nakakalito, but just make sure you review only what you read. Ayun lang yung bottom line. And then, another one is always consider the audience when you're writing a review. So, different kinds of books, different audiences. Ang magbabasa ba ng libro mo are professors? Or are they teachers? Or are they mothers? Or are they little kids? So, yung writing style mo ng paggawa ng review would also matter. Siyempre, kapag mga bata yung magbabasa ng review mo or younger generations, then mas maganda kung we're gonna use plain and easy to understand words or just quick sentences, diba? But if, for example, professor yan or teacher, then you might wanna be into technical terms kasi yun talaga yung hinahanap nila, diba? Another tip is, do not spoil anything. So, as a book reviewer, ang goal mo talaga, guys, is maengganyo or ma-encourage yung mga magbabasa ng review mo na basahin yung book or to judge whether it is well-written or if it's worthy of their time. So, kahit paano yan, kung ano man yung twist or yung ending, make sure you don't spoil the fun for them. Alright, so careful rin lang kayo doon. And of course, the last one is to proofread your work. Kasi syempre, when we're writing, diba, madalas yan mangyari sa akin. Sometimes we miss a letter or may nasisingit na mga word that doesn't make sense. So, make sure you proofread it. And I think one good tip that I can share sa pag-proofread is you read your work aloud. Sometimes may mga words dyan na, alam mo yun, dinaanan ng isip mo. Pero syempre, if you're reading it out loud, then your tongue will definitely spot that mistake for you. Ayan. So guys, those are the different ways you can earn from our hobby, which is reading books. Sana nakatulong yan. And sana may takeaway ulit kayo sa ating video. If you know someone who is also a bookworm or who loves reading books, then please feel free to share our video para makatulong sa kanila. You know, they can earn while they're home, while they're in quarantine, diba? So there you go, guys. Thank you so much for watching and staying with me until the end of our video. Don't forget to follow us on our other social media accounts in Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, where I usually post updates of our upcoming videos. So if meron pa ako na-miss, just put it on the comment section below, and I will see you guys again on our next video. Thanks for watching!